Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Vivian and Carmen and Jackie and Kay and Lawrence and Nina and Christy and Jenny and Marcia and Darius, Wenchy, Melanie, Kelly, Francis. Hello. Hi, Liz. Hi, Liz. Hi, Carolyn. Good morning. Good morning, Agnes. Hi, Agnes. Hi, Shelly Hayashi. Hi, Bertina. Hi, Faye. Hi, Nana. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, how are you? Morning, Matt. Hi, dude. Good morning, Elaine. Hi, Santa. Hi, Christina. Vibe Tribe. The Vibe Tribe's here. Very good. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Los Angeles. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary. Hi, Vivian. Good morning, Vivian. Good morning to you, too. Horizon Event Manager. Hello. Hi. Hi, Karina. Hi, Linda. Hi, Jen Kentrup. Thanks for the meditation, Jen, every morning at 8 a.m. on Jen Kentrup's feed. A great meditation. Thank you very much. Hi, Cardian. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Betty. Hi, Cora. Hi, Soso. Hello, Soso. Miss you. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Michelle. Good morning from Korea. Yes. Buen dia. Hi, Maria. Buen dia. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Stella. Hi, Shirley. Potatoes and Pilates. Hello. Hi, Elise. Hi, Dubious Forest. I love that name. Hi, Dada. Hi, Victor. Hi, friend. How you doing, Macau? Hi, Emma. Hi, Melissa in Sydney. Hi, Emma. Hi, Emma. Hi, Dada. Hi, Jackie. Jane Powell. Hi, Jane. Miss you. It's been too long, Jane. Good to see your name. Happy to know we're here together. Good morning. Good morning, Hong Kong. Good morning, California. Good morning, Australia. Good morning, Japan. Good morning, Korea. Good morning, France. It's not good morning there, but you know. Good morning all over. Yeah. It is a beautiful day in Hong Kong. Today is, well, I don't know what day it is, but good morning, Singapore. Good morning. But it is a beautiful day. The sun is out. There's lots of birds outside. And the skies are really open and blue and fresh. And it reminds me of my time in Tibet with many of you this last fall. The sky, and it's clear, and the air is dry. It's really nice. And, it's like these monotonous days, one after the other. From Squamish, Jody Coombs. Oh my God, so good, so good. Welcome. Thank you for joining. This talk is number 20. Number 20. I'm doing them every single day at 9:30. And I have, it's been helping me stay grounded in my thoughts. I'm doing yoga practices as well, which is also very helpful, but I'm finding these talks to help me ground my thoughts and to actually, it has helped me be accountable to where my thoughts are residing, to be accountable, to know where my mind is, so that it doesn't just like ping pong out to all the variants that the emotions and the kind of discomfort that comes with this sort of monotonous rolling over of our Corona season, Corona time can create. So, good morning, Nav. Good morning. So, I'm presenting a new concept today, which is it's a carryover of yesterday's. Yesterday's talk, we talked about two main concepts. One was, hey Keiko, hi Keiko. The concept was one was the looping that we do in life, in our minds and in our behaviors, how we loop and we kind of stay on something, and we get sort of distracted by this looping, and we don't. Hi Vivian, we don't allow ourselves to move forward or to move deeper in something, and I was talking about two techniques yesterday. One was the looping journal, to write things out in detail that you seem to be looping in your mind about. That if something carries over for weeks or months, or from our past for years, if you kind of looping, then we take time and we write it out. Good morning, Freddie. Good morning, Yoon. We write it out in a looping journal to clear these ideas with great detail. Good morning, Bhavna. And we write them out. And we talked about that at length yesterday, so I'm going to leave that. That's something you can, hi Myrna, you can go back to YouTube. All of my talks are on YouTube. Every talk is on YouTube. I've figured out how to upload videos on YouTube. That's a whole other skill. So they're all there. And you can see the transition from the denim shirt to the black and white striped shirt. So the second piece yesterday I talked about was how we can use, we can move out of a looping circumstance in our professional work or our work itself by taking on a hobby. And I presented three parameters to use when choosing a hobby. Okay, so I'm going to just review that quickly. And they were, one is that our hobbies should be low risk. So if you fail at your hobby, you don't end up starving, living on the street. So low risk, low pressure. There's no deadline, and there's no something coming, and so you feel stressed and you stay up at night because you're not moving forward with your hobby. So low pressure. And the third one was that a hobby should be driven by love, like something that you're really into. Like however weird our interests are that lie outside of our professional path, it should be a labor of love. A labor of love, like that brings you joy. When you do it, you're like, there's some joy and some lightness comes to our mind and our body, which is a big part of why a hobby is so valuable in concert with our main mission in life. Because our main mission in life, I remember when I was young, I lived in the mountains in Whistler, and there was lots of people that were becoming ski patrols or becoming ski instructors or ski coaches and stuff like that. And I remember back then thinking I didn't want to be any of those things, because I remember this thinking, at least back then, that I didn't want to take away from the joy I found in skiing by making it my main mission. This is some part of my thinking. Anyway, why that has some value to me now is that I realize anything you love that you choose to make your main mission will then come with high risk, because you'll rely on it for your income and your lifestyle, and pressure. There'll be deadlines because it's your work. So even if it's a labor of love, it will have pressure and risk involved, that's the cost of like anything, right? So having a clear mission is so important. Having a primary mission, I believe wholeheartedly that every human needs a core mission. Even if that mission is like making dinner every night. Making like a great dinner every night for yourself or your family or whatever. But like take that to another level, like being an accountant, or a manager, or being a teacher, or being a banker, whatever, being a carpenter. Whatever it is, we need a main mission that is personal, it is driven, and it accrues us money. For most of us, it accrues our money, so it pays for our life. And this main mission, I think, at early days should include this piece that we actually derive some meaning and joy from it also when we first choose whatever that mission is. So you have this main mission, and that main mission is so vital to keeping us on a track and giving us a target to apply our efforts and our energy and focus to, blah, blah, blah. A career, vocation. But when you're deeply in your career, when you're deeply in your mission, it again comes with risk and pressure. Even if it's a labor of love, even if you followed your passion, you're doing what you love, it will, when you apply it fully like this as your sole path, it becomes risk and it brings pressure. So, those are great, those are appropriate pressures upon us in life. They're unavoidable too. But because of those pressures, sometimes our mind becomes narrow and we start to loop. We get narrow and we try desperately to succeed in our main mission, which is, people at different varying degrees will apply themselves 60% to their main mission, 80%, 100%. But regardless, the looping in our main work can send you spinning out, send you like troubled by the same problems, troubled by the same challenges, month by month, year by year. You kind of stuck on the same thing over and over. So willpower alone doesn't move us forward necessarily. As an example of this, so this is the main subject today. Did I get to that? That we're talking about incorporating two levels of focus, one on a main mission and two on something that is in concert with that is sort of we could say a hobby. But as an example to that, I was reading recently about if you consider like what would be like one of the most focused life paths out there, let's say at the highest level of science, like a scientist is, kind of, for me, it like represents like absolute attentional focus, like the capacity to like down to like molecular level or to like, the galaxy above, like scientists that are looking at the brain or at the constellations of the stars and the planets, like the ability to see like absolute focus, crazy focus. And working on problems. So I take that as an example, let's say, as like the highest level of concentrative focus. And if you take all the scientists in the world, the best ones we could say would be like the Nobel laureates, like the Nobel Prize. Nobel laureate scientists would be like, wow, like if, it's like that, those people are like, super focused and have moved seriously forward with their careers. Like, whoa. Those, of all the scientists, Nobel laureate, neurologists, Nobel laureate scientists, like the top of the top of the top, are 20 times more likely to have a hobby, one hobby, than all the other scientists. 20 times more likely to have a hobby, like a serious hobby, like not like playing video games once in a while, but like a serious hobby, a labor of love that's completely outside of science. I find that deeply fascinating. I see in myself over the years, one time I went for a job interview when I was like 19, and it was for this amazing job. I wanted it so bad. I didn't get it, by the way. Spoiler alert, didn't get it. But this job I went for was you had to be seriously fit, and there was a seriously high level of competition to get this job. There was 1,600 applicants for 6 positions. It was a summer job only for the government. And you got trained in all these skills, helicopter, you had to be in a helicopter all the time. It was like It wasn't military, but it was like it was for the forestry industry, and so they wanted people, and you had to be a certain size and a certain physical ability and blah blah blah. Anyways, I wanted it so bad. It was like, it seemed like the coolest job ever. You got paid really well. You lived out in the woods for the whole summer. And yeah, so the job, Jen's asking what the job was. The job was called Rap Attack, and it was an elite unit of forest firefighters for in BC, where the mountains are very steep and the terrain is really inaccessible. So they have these lightning fires in the summer, and it would blow a fire up in the middle of nowhere in these deep canyons where you couldn't get trucks to, and so you couldn't bring the bigger crews. So they would have these small units out throughout the province, and someone would call in and they'd say, we need Rap Attack, and these small helicopters would take 2 guys, of which the position I was applying for, fly the helicopter out, and then they would rappel off a rope from the helicopter into the forest, and you'd have to build the helicopter landing pad, cutting down trees, and you have to do all this stuff, and you'd be the point person on the forefront of this fire. Anyways, I met a guy that had this job by chance, and I heard about it, and immediately I was like, oh my God, and I was sleeping, dreaming about this job for months. Anyway, so I trained and went for the tryout, and it was crazy. There was tons of people trying out. Anyways, I made it to the last 6 people. Oh my God, it was like amazing. Doing fitness workouts, and we're seriously off topic here, but we're doing serious workouts, and they were testing you, doing the shuttle run, doing the beep test, doing blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I got down to it, and then you did this series of interviews. And I made it through the first 3 interviews, and the last interview, the point of the story is that I had built a resume. I was like, I think I'm a perfect candidate. I'd done all this stuff. I've been trained as a rock climber. I'd been trained as a wilderness first aid for ski touring. I did all this stuff. I was like, I was in wildlife biology in university. I was doing all this. I was working out twice a day. I'd done so much stuff. I was like, yes, anyways, I run a marathon. I was like ticking boxes, tried everything. So I get to the final interview, and there's 3 guys. They're all like burly, badass guys. And the interview, the guy's like, okay, so part of this job, why it's so coveted, is that we train you. We spend hours training you in all these like high level skills, and so you become an investment to us. And are you willing to commit? Are you going to stick around? And I'm like, yeah, like I want this job really bad. Yes. And they were like, how long do you think you'd stay? And I was like, I don't know. Like I would stay for a couple of years. Stay for, each summer. It was only summer forest fires in Canada. Anyway. And this one guy was like, you have a very impressive resume. You've done a lot of different things. And I was like, and he's like, but you haven't done anything consistently. Like you did the marathon, so you trained for that. You did the ice climbing, you trained for that. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, but it doesn't show like one thing over time. Where the guy that got the job had been a rugby player since like grade 8 in high school, and he was just like he was just rugby. And they're like, that kind of had more value to them. So I didn't get the job. Boo, boo, boo. Anyways, this was a really serious lesson for me, in that having a ton of different hobbies, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, really can be fun, but it doesn't develop us in the same way that having a mission in life, yeah, gotta have a mission. And yoga has certainly taught me that, yoga has taught me that singular mission, to not give up, to like come back to it day after day after day. And even days where your body sucks and you're like, oh, it's not moving the way I want it to move, and you're demotivated, but you stick to it. Like looking back now, I'm like, the fact that I have stayed with a serious yoga practice every day for decades, I'm like, I still can't believe it's happened. There's so much joy in reflecting back and seeing how like I didn't quit. And I know most of us have that experience with yoga. It's like I didn't quit. Like, wow, so many friends, go into something and then leave, go into something and leave. And like, why did I stay? Anyway, making that a singular path has been very fruitful. And yet, even in that path of yoga, there has been, times where it's been a real struggle to kind of find traction and move forward in the thinking and the developing of the practice and the teaching, etc., which is our main work. Let's use that as the example as our main work. And having a secondary hobby, having something that doesn't have low risk, and doesn't have pressure, low pressure, but is interesting, creates a lightness and creates it fights back against this looping. Scientists, Nobel laureate scientists, are 20 times more likely to have a serious hobby outside their work than all the other scientists. It says something, It says something. Anyway, I told that story because I know back in the day, like, it seemed like I wanted to try everything, and it seemed like that had more value than sticking to something. And now I realize like that was true back then, definitely was. But now it's like sticking to something that's really life's work. And one of the I think agreed upon concepts is that we can agree upon is that life is uphill. Life is uphill. When you're young, you're full of piss and vinegar, you're full of energy, so you don't notice it's uphill, but it's uphill. As you get older, you have a little less piss and vinegar inside, so it's like, well, you can feel the incline pretty clearly. And as times go on, it's like, wow, it's like, it feels like it's getting steeper. Are we getting more tired or is it getting steeper? Life is uphill, any way you cut it. It is, like the Buddha. The Buddha realized this and extrapolated great teachings around this. Life is uphill, man. And comfort is the worst kind of slavery. Life is uphill. Life is uphill. It is uphill. When you get a good sleep, it's like, no problem. You bounce off the bed. You hop out of life. When you're exhausted, life is like a sheer cliff going uphill. Oh. So we need to build strength in our system, our nervous system, our physical system, to stay on the track of our mission in life, whatever that mission is, and not give up. Not give up. And be like really, as best we can, like really aiming for excellence and fulfillment in that mission, whatever it is, and not, be so easily deterred or satisfied, because some days life gets steeper. And hi Julie, and when we're moving along in life on our mission, we sometimes forget that we're actually gaining momentum. We're gaining momentum. When you're on your mission, you're gaining momentum as you deliver yourself more and invest yourself and saturate yourself more in your mission. You're gaining momentum, so that some days life becomes really steep, but because you haven't given up and you've been like really diligent, then this momentum helps you go up these hills. It helps you go up the hills. And the hills, as you go up the hill, you start to discover new problems, new issues. And you can put your mind to it, but if you're too singularly focused, we don't capture certain insights and potential creative viewpoints to our singular mission, which again is a nod towards the idea of having a hobby, having something. I don't really like the word hobby, but having something that is like a complete alternate path. Like, I don't know, playing chess. Or Ted, you're golfing, you little golfer. golfing. Jim's a boxer, boxing. Having something that allows the mind, the windows of the mind to open in a different way. Having a singular focus and working forward, going forward, putting yourself into like giving a singular focus. You got momentum when life goes uphill fast. You have some forward traction. And investing, like I see it in myself, but I definitely see it in others. Maybe the greatest gift of teaching is that you see other people. I feel like so indebted to every human I've been around because I've learned so much from observing the humans around me through the practice and through life and learning that it's really easy to do two mistakes that happen that I'm gonna share now. I can see everybody's listing their hobbies. Good for you guys. That's awesome. But two things that happen. One, yeah, yoga counts, of course. Melissa, of course it counts. The two things that happen. One, often people get super absorbed in their work and they don't see value in an alternate thing. But the alternate thing, in my opinion, needs to be something distant from the nuclear science for scientists. It can't be close to science. It has to be something whacked out. Something that we love, but it's something that we would not give the same kind of value to. So you go into that. It needs to be difficult. It needs to be difficult. It has to be a hard thing. It can't be easy. It has to be a hard thing to really extract the value that we're talking about. A hard thing. Now, here's the next piece. You have to be deeply committed to it. It can't be, like when we say hobby, you're like, yeah, it's a hobby. Like people will say like, yeah, yoga's my hobby or whatever. And then they go and they play yoga. But the thing is, because there's no risk and no pressure, because there's no low risk and low pressure, then people don't actually take it seriously. And the thing is, in order to extract the real value out of it, has to be taken seriously. Like, if reading is your hobby, then read. Like, read a book, one book a month, one book every 2 weeks, one book a week, whatever. Like, read. Get traction. If it's yoga, then, I don't know, like I see a lot of people taking yoga very, very lightly, thinking that they're taking it seriously, but not. And I mean, maybe I'm opinionated on that because that's become my whole life. So I'll risk that by saying people like, they do one teacher training and they think that their hobby is done and they carry on for the rest of their life as if they learned everything. Or they like take, they learn something really lightly and then they are easily satisfied. Like that's it. But I think what we're talking about is like how to fulfill ourselves in a creative, in an honest, authentic way deeply in our life is to have a mission and pay, amazing attention and get some traction to go uphill and then find a much smaller percentage of our time and energy. Like we were talking yesterday, like the Google rule is 20%. I would say even go lower, like go 8 to 10%. 8 to 10% of your professional or your work time, productive time. And put it to something completely ulterior, but in that 8 to 10%, be bloody serious. Like be bloody serious. Like be a closet DJ. That was my old hobby. Be a closet DJ that is like, when you do it, people are like, holy shit, that's a hobby? Like, that is good. Like when someone's playing golf, like Teddy, when you're playing golf, and people are like, you play golf, like, here and there, but you go and you're like, you have like the glove, and they got the feet, the shoes, and the shirt, And it's like, when you're out there, it's like, and it's like seriously good at something that is not your thing. That's not your thing. And, you know, to leave this idea today that like getting traction in anything, it takes concentrative deepness. And to do that, thank you, Marco. I like to think back like I was good at something back then. But to do that, to get concentrative deepness, does not take a lot of time. To become good at some small thing on the side does not take a lot of time. Take a short period, but schedule it, ritualize it, schedule it, and then when you're doing it, don't do anything else, you know? When you're gardening, don't do anything else, just garden. When you're writing poetry, don't do anything else. When you're DJing, don't do anything else. And be like 8% of your productive time a day, you get really good at this one strange thing that brings you joy. Get serious about what brings you joy. And like get traction. Because getting traction in anything feels so damn good. Getting traction with things feels so damn good. And you can't get traction with everything. I didn't get the job. You can get traction with a few things. I'd say 2. It's already 10:02. God, this time goes fast. Okay, people. There you go. That's Mount Kailash, Western Tibet. It is an amazing place. It sits as the axis of the universe. And that's Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time. He was the world champion boxer, heavyweight champion, and he was a poet. How cool is that? Like the dude is known as a poet. Like his spoken word was top of the top. You know that guy sat down with a dictionary and wrote stuff out and thought about stuff and created incredible language. That is amazing. Okay, sending you guys all my love. I got to go teach yoga on Pure Yoga Facebook. I'm already late. I'm going to get fired. No, I won't. But I got to go. So come on to Facebook. Let's rock it out. Otherwise, see you tomorrow at 9:30. My talk on Sunday is 1 hour. We're testing it out. Okay, love you guys. Namaste from my bedroom.